Welcome to Yogatōn. Okay, so we are going to start standing today. So for equipment, a little bit less. Option to have the resistance band. This is like a more intense resistance. Medium resistance is fine. I have two weights, 3 pounds and 5 pounds, but you really could make do with one, but you probably want a lighter set. But sometimes it's nice to have options. But really you would be fine with just one set of lighter weights today. So coming to the top of your mat, let's just take an inhale, extend the arms up, interlace your fingers, press up towards the ceiling, grow nice and tall, and just go ahead and laterally bend over to one side. Inhale and exhale over to the other side. One more time, back to the first side, maybe bending a little bit further, and up and over to the other side. Good. And just roll the shoulders a couple of times. I was looking for my other phone for the time. Roll your shoulders the other direction. Good. Inhale, extend the arms upwards, bringing your hands to heart center. We're just going to do 2 rounds of sun salutation to sort of stretch and warm up a little bit. So finding a place at the top of your mat, feet hips distance apart, nice long spine. Take an inhale and extend the arms upwards. As you exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, hands to the mat, stepping the right foot back, holding this long lunge for a moment, pressing through here to get a nice stretch. Knee over ankle. Breathing through, extending that hamstring, and then leaving the right hand planted. Extend the left arm as you twist and look up towards the ceiling. And then planting the left hand, open up to the other side, extending the right arm towards the ceiling. Placing that hand down, step the left foot back, lowering all the way down to the mat. Inhaling, lifting up to a cobra, and just pausing here for a moment to extend the spine, contracting the gluteal muscles. And then curl the toes under, push yourself up and back, and find yourself in down dog. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Extend the spine, separate your feet a little bit, maybe a little bit less than mat's distance, and just bend into your legs for a moment, a little bit of a down dog squat to sort of warm up the knees, stretch out the hamstrings, just a couple of times. And then bringing those feet back to center. Extend the right leg up. Swing it forward, plant it down, coming to that long lunge on the other side. And then plant the left hand, twisting up, extending the right arm. Placing the right hand down, extend the left arm as you open up to that side. Replacing that hand down, step the left foot forward, forward fold, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release, inhale all the way up. And a variation on Surya Namaskar B. Inhaling into Utkatasana, chair posture, holding here for a moment, sitting back, pulling the shoulders back, pulling the belly button towards the spine, so you're lengthening the spine. Sinking maybe a little bit lower, making sure the weight is in the heels so you can wiggle your toes. And forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release back. Stepping the right foot back, dropping the right knee down to the mat, hinging forward, opening up that hip flexor, and then inhaling, lifting the arms up and pulling them down so you're opening your chest, lengthening your spine, gazing up towards the ceiling. Placing the hands on the mat, hinging back into a half splits, letting the head release downwards. Hinging back forward, planting the hands, step that left foot back, lowering down chaturanga, this time coming up to an up dog if you prefer, rather than cobra, meaning you don't go all the way down to the mat. Pressing up and back. Heels towards the mat, roll the shoulders down and back, extend the right leg up, bending the right knee, dropping it towards the opposite side, right hip stacking on left, and just extend your leg and bend your leg. Extend and bend. 3 and 2. Last one, bring it back to center. Bring that right knee into your chest, across your body to the left elbow, and then extend back up. And across the body, and extend. We're just going to keep repeating that for 3, for 2, last one, and now this time bring the leg across, coming to pigeon, just to stretch you out for a moment here in pigeon pose. Staying lifted, pressing into the hands, lifting the chest, extending that leg behind. And careful not to roll and sit onto that right hip. You want to try to square the hips. Taking a breath. Option to bend that left knee and give yourself a quadricep stretch here. You can just simply hold on like I'm doing here. You can of course go deeper and deeper and deeper, but you don't necessarily have to. You can leave the right hand in the mat, or you can release the right hand. Releasing that down, push yourself up, coming to plank. Do our first set of push-ups here. So I like to separate my hands a little bit wider. By all means, drop to knees for your push-ups if you find you drop through your hips. We'll do 5, lowering down in the inhale, exhale to press up. You don't want to go all the way to the floor. You just want to bend those elbows to a 90-degree bend. And 2. Last one, walk those hands back to the center, right under the shoulders. Push yourself up and back, downward facing dog. Left leg extends, bend the left knee, drop it towards the other side, stacking left hip on right. And then extend and bend again. Extend and bend. And 3, 2, last one, bringing it back to center. Same thing on the other side. Left knee goes across to the right elbow and extends back up. 5 more times. And extend. If you hover out there for a moment over the elbow, you work on that core. And 2. Last one, this time bringing the leg across, finding pigeon on this side. Right leg extends back, chest lifts, pressing the hips towards the floor. Opening up through the left hip this time. Because we're not staying here long, I just have you staying lifted like this rather than reclining. Again, option to bend that back leg. You can just stay right here. You can bring it further, depending on your flexibility, depending on your balance. If you want, you can release the front hand. I can't grab my toe, so I do a modified version of it. And release that, plank the hands, pressing up to plank. Second set of 5 push-ups. Again, you can separate the hands. You can also do tricep push-ups right under your shoulders, elbows bending back like in chaturanga. You decide. Lower down for 5, exhale up for 4, and 3, and 2. Last one, bring the hands back, press up, downward facing dog. Taking a breath here, pausing for a moment. And then step the right foot all the way forward, coming to your lunge, releasing the back knee down, rising up, opening up into your crescent lunge, arms extend up and pull back. Hands finding the mat, hinging back into that half splits. Hinging back forward, stepping the foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. And then bending the knees, rising up into chair. Holding Utkatasana, we're going to rock up onto the balls of our feet and back down. If the arms extended is too much, hands can always come to heart center in prayer. We're just rocking up and back down. For 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, come up and hold. Can you sink a little bit lower? Can you lift the chest a little bit higher? Lower all the way down again. Lower the heels, coming into a forward fold, and just let your head and your arms go, stretching out your back. And then bend the knees and roll yourself all the way up. Deep extension. And exhale. Hands find the heart. Okay, so now you can pick up those weights. I actually did this earlier today, So I think I'm going to use the lighter weights because I used the heavier weights earlier, and I don't think I want to do a whole nother set of them with the 5-pound weights. So these are 3 pounds. I'm going to face you, but you can just come to the top of your mat. I just want you to be able to see what I'm doing. So we're going to incorporate some arm work with some balance work, and I'll keep kind of changing my orientation so you can see what we're doing. So go ahead and settle yourself here with your cans of ravioli or whatever you're using for weights. I'm going to come to my right foot first, so you can, you'll look opposite me, but that's okay. It'll help when we turn to the side. All right, so balancing on that right foot, I'm going to lift my leg just to hip height. I'm going to hold this here. And then that arm, that left arm, is just going to hug by the side. The right arm is going to be working. I take that back. I'm going to switch. The right arm's going to be by the side. The left arm's going to be working. So whatever leg you're standing on, that arm is going to be static by your side. Okay? Face the left palm out, and then we're just going to bicep curl up for 10. Slow and controlled. And again, if it feels like you're using too light of a weight, I wouldn't worry too much about it because we're going to be doing a few different things. And I found when I did it with 5, it was quite a challenge I did not wish to repeat. And 2, and 1. Good. Now we're going to press that up. So palm still facing out. We're going to press up for 10, 9, 8, 7. And if you're unstable and need the balance, you could release the weight in that right hand and hold on to something. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Stay where you are. I just want to reorient myself so you can see me. Bring that hand down, so both hands are by your side, and we're going to step that left foot back, coming into a lunge. All right? Long lunge. We're now going to take that same hand, the left hand, go down to our ankle, up, and extend. Down, pulling up like a lawnmower, and back. 3. And extend. Making sure that front knee is bent, but not coming out over your toes, and you're extending through that back hamstring. So when you come up, you're in a modified, or not really modified, you're in a power lunge. For 4, and that right hand is by your hip, holding that weight. And 2. Last one, extend it. And now just from the elbow, extend, tricep bends. 9, 8, shoulders stable. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to come back up onto that same foot, same position we were just in. Right hand by the hip, left knee bent. Now hammer curl, so your palms are facing towards your body as you curl up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, shoulder and down, 4, 3, 2, last one, same palm orientation. Now press that arm up. I kind of think of this as like when you drive past a trucker when you were a kid and you ask them to like pull the horn. I feel like that's what this looks like. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Once again, we're going to step back, but not quite as far. We're coming to pyramid pose. So both feet are facing forward, toes forward, legs are straight, hands by our side. We're going to hinge forward, keeping our back long and flat. Square your hips. Your right hip will tend to press forward. Pull your right hip back, or whatever one is in front, and then your arms hang down right in front of you. And we're going to pull them up towards the shoulders for 10, 9. Now this is one you probably feel like you could use a heavier weight, but we're doing so much of this in a row, I don't think you're suffering much by using a lighter weight. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Bring yourself up to standing on 2 feet. Tess has joined us. Hi. All right, so same thing on the other side. So I'm going to start facing you again. So left hand is now by the hip. Left foot is rooted in the floor. Right leg is going to come up. Right arm by our side, palm facing out. And we curl up for 10. Nice and controlled, and making sure that elbow is free. It's not bracing against the body, which is going to make your life easier. In this case, we're not trying to make our lives easier. For 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and then bring that arm up so palm is facing forward and we press up for 10. So when we do these shoulder ones, you definitely, this is where I feel it when the weight is too heavy. So at any point you could drop the weight, at any point you could decide you want a lighter or heavier one. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, stabilize. Again, I'm just turning so that you can see me better. And we're going to come back to that long lunge. So stepping that right foot back, bending the front knee, power lunge, reaching the right hand down to the ankle, up to the hip, and extend. Down, pulling that motorboat or lawnmower, and extend. I keep resting that left weight on my hip. That's cheating. Your elbow can kind of press against the side, but I've got that left hand at a 90-degree bend, holding onto that weight. For 5, 4, 3, no one ever said I was a good counter, I'm not sure. I might have added 1 or 2. Last one, coming up, and now just extending that arm back. So it's like a pendulum. Your shoulder is absolutely stable. You're just working the tricep here. This is great to get rid of any sort of flabbiness that sometimes happens under our tricep. Very annoying place for a lot of people. 4, 3, 2, last one. Bring it to the hip. Bring yourself up. Remember, we're going back to that starting position. So that right leg comes up in front of us. Now hammer curl position. So palms face in as we curl up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. When we do these 2 different positions of bicep curls, it actually works different parts of the bicep muscle. That's why we do them. And now keeping that palm facing in, trucker horn for 10, 9. So anytime you do something like this where you've added weight and you're balancing, you're also working your core. So even though you don't necessarily feel like you're doing sit-ups at this moment, you're actually using your core to keep yourself balanced. And you're challenging yourself with the movement and that added weight. Even if it's 1 pound, and if it's no pounds, you're still challenging with the movement. I think that's 10. Bring it down, step back into that pyramid. So a little bit more of a narrow stance. All 10 toes facing forward, keeping the hips square as you hinge forward to flat back. Arms extend down and pull them up towards the chest for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, stepping all the way up, coming down into our chair posture, extending the arms behind us, palms face up, and we're just going to lift up towards the ceiling for 20. So it's a little bit of a pulse, it's not giant. Again, if you used heavier weights, this would be pretty challenging. So if you need to put them down to finish, you can. Let's call this 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, turn the palms towards one another and squeeze them in. So careful here that you're not swinging the weights, which can happen if you're using lighter weights or no weights. Make sure you're intentionally pressing in and pressing out So you're using your muscles, not momentum. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, bend the knees, place the weights down but nearby because you're going to need them, and just forward fold for a moment. All right, resistance band, optional. I'm going to put it on now, right above my knees. Again, you could use a medium or a light, or a medium or a more intense. And now forward fold again with that on you. A little bit of a challenge here, so if this does not work for you, you can always take it off and come down, or you can drop to knees. But option to hop back to plank, or drop to your knees and then scoot yourself back so you're in plank. Good, so belly button's pulling in, long line from the hips to the shoulders and the hips to the heels. And we're going to step one foot out and back in. Staying on the same side. 18. So not too fast, you want to pause in each position to give that muscle a chance to work against the resistance. 12, 10, halfway there. And of course, while you're working your legs here, you're holding your plank. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, come back to center. So I was doing my right leg. Whatever leg you were doing, come to a side plank so the opposite hand is on the mat and that leg you were just working is on top. You could come down to your forearm here if that was more comfortable. Hand can be on hip, arm can extend, and now we're going to lift that top leg for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming back to your plank. Finding plank position, step out with the opposite foot. And in, and out, and in. 20 of these. Not sure how many minutes altogether of plank and side plank this is, but I would say at least 2. Call it 14. Trying not to move the hips up and down, just stepping out. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, coming to the other side plank, hand comes to the middle of the mat, coming up to your side plank, pick your arm position, and lift up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release that and drop yourself down and press yourself back in child's pose for like half of a breath, maybe a full breath. All right, bring yourself to sitting. Grab your weights again. You can take the band off or you can leave it on. It's kind of nice because it has you continuing to press open rather than your knees falling in. But if it's not comfortable, you can take it out. Take it off. Okay, grab your weights. Again, go with lighter. If you only have 5 pounds, you probably want to go without on this one. It's going to be probably too much on the shoulders. We're going to hinge back and we're going to row for 3, 2, and 1, and come up. Hinge back and row. 3, 2, and 1, and up. And we're just going to keep going like this. 2, 1, and up. 3 more sets. 3, 2, 1, and up. 2 more. 3, 2, 1, and up. Last one for 3, 2, and 1. Bring the weights together at heart center, and we're going to twist, 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 twist. So chest is staying lifted, and we twist that elbow towards the floor. Exhaling as you twist, inhaling to center. 3, and 2. Oh, I forgot about my legs. My knees were falling in. Keep those legs pressing against the band. Last one. And back to center. Now open the arms and bring them back to the chest. For 9, 8. Hinging back, abs are engaged, chest is lifted. We shouldn't feel this in the low back. Pull that belly button in, engage the abs to protect the back. For 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Bring yourself up. You can go ahead and take that band off if you still got it on. It wasn't serving a huge purpose there, which is still on. And go ahead and roll yourself down into a ball. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little rock from side to side. Let the knees drop down to one side. Turn and look over the other. Releasing the back. Lift the knees up through center, over to the other side. Good, bring the legs back up. Come to happy baby. Bending the knees, flexing the feet. Pressing out through the hamstrings, giving yourself a little rock. And extend the legs down, stretch the arms out, stretch the legs out. I think I got 2 more minutes. We're going to do one more thing here. Option to grab your weight. We're all the way extended, and we're going to lift right arm to right leg for 10. With or without the weight. You could also just be using a ball in your hand. You could use nothing. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one on this side. Switch hands, left arm, left leg for 10. Trying to keep the leg quite straight and trying to keep the other hip on the floor. Trying to not clock your knee with the weight. That's not going to be very pleasant. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Lower the leg, lower the arm. Carefully place that weight beside you. Rock yourself up to sit. Come around and face front, crossing the legs. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, bring the hands behind you, pressing into the mat, opening the chest, gaze towards the sky. And bringing yourself to neutral. And that's it, 30 minutes just flies by. Thanks for joining.